This video is going to talk about how to convert using metric units. Metric units typically include meters, liters, and grams. Now, I'm pretty sure you already know what these things stand for because I think I've had you marching around the classroom for about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on when I decided to start. But I'm going to go over this one more time just to make absolutely sure we're set. Kilo, hecta, deca, meter, liter, gram, deci, centi, milli. Now, what you need to know about these are that they go in order. Kilo's the biggest. Hecto's next, then deca. Meter, liter, gram are the base. And then you have deci, centi, milli, and everything keeps getting smaller. But it doesn't start at 1 down here. It actually starts, the base of this is right here. Meters, liters, grams, that's the base. That's 1. Deca is actually a prefix that you can put in front of meters, liters, and grams. These are all prefixes. Kilo, hecta, deca, deci, centi, milli are all prefixes. And when you put them in front of meters, liters, grams, the number will be adjusted. So, deca would actually could be decameter, decaliter, decagram. And when you put deca in front of something, that puts it as 10. Hecta is 100. Kilo is 1,000. And then it gets smaller going this way as well. So instead of 1, it becomes 0.1, 0.01, 0.001. Now, that seems to be a little bit complicated, but once you see how it works and how the converting can go, it's going to make a lot more sense. You do need a tool to make the conversion. You need the L7. And as you can see here, we have the letter L, and here we have the number 7. It's very important to keep L7 there. So we're going to erase this. And we are going to go over to our first problem so that we can start to look at this. Our first problem is to convert 14 kilometers, or km, to just meters, or m. And you can see how we use that abbreviation, km, so k was in front and then meters is there. And when you have just meters, you don't put anything in front of it. So I'm going to take the number 14, and I'm going to put it down below so I can start to adjust the number. You don't have to put it right below, it's just my personal preference, and so I can save room on the board. What I need to know is I need to know where the decimal is in this number. And I know that the decimal in 14, because it's not there, it's all the way at the end, like a period in a sentence. So, the first thing I need to do is I need to locate where is kilometers on my chart. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to find K. And I see that K is right here. And I need to get to M. So I need to go and I need to find meters. Meters is right here. I'm going to count how many steps it takes me to go from K to M. You don't count where you start. So, 1, 2, 3 steps. You can see how I went from kilometers to hecta to deca, and then I got down to meters. That's 3 steps, and I went down. Because I went down, I'm going to move my decimal to the right. So, when I move my decimal to the right, you're going to notice that I'm going to use my L from my L7. And because I went down 3 steps, my decimal is going to move 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. So now I have a couple blanks. What do I put in those blanks? This is where that really handy invisible 0 comes in. So this becomes 14,000. And that's it. I've converted. So let's take a look at our next example. let's take a look at 29 milligrams converting to grams. First, I need to figure out where in my chart I'm going to start. This says milligrams. It does not say metergram. The M in the prefix is always down here. If you see MM, you're still starting down here. So I'm going to start down here, and I need to get to grams, which is again on this level. So now I need to count how many steps will it take me to get there. 1, 2, 3. So I went upwards 3. So now I'm going to take this 7, because I went up 3, I'm going to move my decimal. That's not a 7. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. So because I went up 3, I'm going to move my decimal 3 times to the right. So let's take 29, find the decimal, it's at the end, just like a period in a sentence, and I'm going to move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 3 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3. Need that invisible 0 in there. 29 milligrams is the same as 0.029 grams. Okay, let's take a look at this purple problem. 0.26 centiliters, and we're trying to get that into hectoliters. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write this down below. And then I need to go over to my chart, and I need to figure out where centiliters are. Well, I'm starting at centiliters, so I'm going to go to that C. And I need to get to hectoliters. So I need to get all the way to H. I need to get up here. So I need to check how many steps will that take me. Well, first of all, I can see I'm going up. And because I'm going up, I'm going to need to use the 7 of my L7. So let's go ahead and count the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 4 steps it took me to get up there. So I'm going to move this decimal 4 steps to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get those invisible zeros. 2.6 centiliters. Invisible zeros do not show up in sunlight. They might be part vampire, who knows. So 2.6 centiliters is going to be 0.00026 hectoliters. And now we have one more problem to look at together, and this is going to be 0.17 decagrams. Deca is always abbreviated with the A. Deci doesn't have anything. So when you're putting these in order, the A goes to the first one. So we need to go from decagrams, DA, and we need to get to decigrams, which is just D. So let's go ahead. First of all, we know that we're going down. So I'm going to use the L of my L7. Let's count how many steps. 1, 2. So because I went down 2 steps, that means my decimal is going to move 2 times to the right. 1, 2. 0.17 decagrams is the same as 17 decigrams. The problems that you're going to solve are going to be 3.2 meters into kilometers, and then 0.8 centigrams into, well, a blank would be helpful. How many milligrams?